Welcome back to my channel. Today's review is a nasal strip. What the hell is it? And does it work? And finally, is it worth the hype? So I've been getting countless ads on my Instagram about nasal strips, so I bought some to try and figure out what the hype was about and if they really work. First up, what the hell is a nasal strip? So according to Wikipedia, a nasal strip or external nasal dilator or nasal dilator strip is a type of adhesive bandage with embedded plastic ribs or splits that is applied across the bridge of the nose and side of the nostrils to assist in keeping your airways open. So in layman terms, basically, it's a little clip that goes on the outside of your nose that tries to pull the skin away to try and manually open up your airways. So why would this interest me? Why would I want to walk around with this on my face? Well, according to the countless ads and social media influencers, they make you believe that makes it easier to breathe, and for that reason are used during athletic exertion as an aid to help reduce congestion, and also they are used during the night to try and help those who struggle with snoring. Now, okay, the secret is out. Yes, I'm a massive snorer, and Ross actually has footage of me, or rather a recording of me snoring, and it is quite bad, it's quite loud. And I will also admit that during training, sometimes I will get a really congested nose, and I do find myself breathing through my mouth a lot because my nose just feels like it's blocked. When it feels like it's blocked, but it's not actually blocked, it just feels like it's really restricted. So I do get that a lot. So anyways, love sleeping with my mouth open, love breathing with my mouth all the time, always have my mouth wide open. In training, you'll see me, I never breathe through my nose. I'm a big old mouth breather. But hey, what's a girl got to do, This is why we are going to try this nasal strip. Now, is there actually any science behind any of this, or is it just a load of BS, a load of rubbish? Now, various studies have indicated that they do not have a performance-enhancing effect, but when applied properly, they do lift and widen the space in the nasal passage, which could help maintain airflow. So there are also no reported side effects other than possible skin irritation due to the adhesive tabs that you have to keep on in order to have the strip on your face. So whilst there is no scientific backing behind this, whilst there is no studies that indicate that this does help athletic performance, it does actually, you can physically see, hear, feel the difference when you do put this on to your nose in the capacity for your airways to be open and the openness of your airways. So I wore my nasal strip during training and during the night to tell you guys exactly how I felt and whether it works. And here is what I found. So let's just talk first impressions. Now, applying the strip was actually super easy. You just sort of stick these little tabs on the side of your nose. It sticks, then you just clip on the white little bracket. They come in 4 different sizes, which obviously means that if you have a larger nose, there's a large, there's a medium 2, and then there's 1 small. I went for the small because the bridge of my nose is quite narrow, so the small was actually pretty good. I would say borderline needed a slightly smaller one, so if you do have a really small nose, just bear that in mind when you are ordering it. As soon as I put it on, I think that I look absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, it's something on your face that you haven't had there before, so it does seem a little weird and a little strange and does take some getting used to before you actually don't mind it. Also, because it's on your nose, you can constantly see it in your peripherals. So if that is going to frustrate you, which it did me, just know that it is something that you're going to have to get used to. As soon as I put it on, genuinely, the difference in my breathing was quite scary. I think because it does automatically just manually open up your nasal airways. If you do have slightly constricted airways, you will immediately feel the difference. You can actually hear the difference as well when you first put it on, which is insane. With. Yeah. I'm doing the same breath.
You can see your nostrils closing more as well.
And then I can't physically close my nostrils so I can get in a much bigger breath.
See how it goes then.
So first impressions, I was super excited about trying it because I genuinely did feel like I was getting a lot more air through my nose, which was the whole point. So obviously I wore it to training. First and foremost, obviously be prepared for everyone's reactions when you walk in with a nasal strip on your face. Everyone did make fun of me, asked me what it was, and then started trying to pull it off and make fun of me and all this sort of stuff. So just be aware of that. Just know that that's going to happen. I wore it for the first part of my session, which was a running and burpee WOD. So nothing like too strenuous. Obviously, I did sweat. And this is where I had my first problem. The nasal strip pretty much fell off straight away. It was only like a 20-minute workout, and obviously I got sweaty, but the nasal strip literally just fell off. The little pads just like started peeling off. And whilst it didn't fall off, because the nasal like little sticky things had started peeling off, the actual like magnetic thing that's supposed to like pull it apart so that your nasal passages open was no longer doing that. So I basically just had it on my face and it was having absolutely no effect whatsoever. So if you are someone who is going to sweat a lot and wanted to use it for sports, then I would say it doesn't work. I think that logistically it's really difficult to have something adhesive stuck to your face that is going to be sweat proof, because obviously the sweat is going to come out of your pores under your skin, which is going to go directly onto the nasal strip, which is going to make it non-adhesive. So in that regard, it doesn't work. So whilst on the packaging, it does say that you can use it for sport, my advice and my review is that you cannot use it for sport. It doesn't work. It doesn't stay on, which is frustrating, because it does make your nasal passages bigger and it does make you feel like you can breathe more through your nose, but it doesn't stay on. Now, secondly, my second problem with the nasal strip is that I am, as I said, a heavy mouth breather. Like, I always breathe through my mouth during exercise. It's a big problem. And I think that whilst having a nasal strip obviously feels nice and it feels like you can get more airway, like more air through your nasal passage, it doesn't stop you from having the use and the habit of breathing through your mouth. So if you're looking for something that is going to make you stop breathing through your mouth, this isn't going to do that, because it doesn't stop you from breathing through your mouth. It just means that your nasal passages are more open. But if you are used to breathing through your mouth, not going to help. So in terms of training, I would say that this is a big no-no and it doesn't really work. However, I wore my nasal strip during the night. At first, I thought it was going to be super uncomfortable, so I wasn't really sure about it. I wasn't convinced about wearing it. However, I put it on just before I was going to go to sleep, literally just before the light went out. During the night, I woke up a few times having thought that it fell off because I couldn't feel it on my face. But when I woke up the next morning, it was still on my face. I woke up feeling pretty fresh. Like, I wouldn't say noticeably different, but the one thing that is noticeably different is that usually I am a big snorer. Ross said I didn't snore at all that night. Could be coincidence. Could not be coincidence. I wore it for a few other nights after that and I didn't snore at all. One of the things about me is that whilst obviously I'm a big mouth breather, it means that during the night I do, this is so gross, but TMI, but have to say it for the video, I do dribble as well, because obviously I sleep with my mouth open and breathe through my mouth. But when I wore the nasal strip, I didn't dribble at all on my pillow. There was no dribble marks. There was no dribble marks on my face. God, this is so gross, but it's just to talk about the nasal strip. So obviously, whilst I'm sleeping, like subconscious hand, because my nose was like more open, I then ended up breathing through my nose more, which is obviously really great. So in terms of like sleeping, if you want to fix snoring or just like breathing better during the night, would recommend. It's not super uncomfortable. It's not like doesn't bother me or anything, and it stays on. There we go. As for like wearing it during the day, I wouldn't wear it during the day, mainly because I just think that it's a bit much to just have that on my face all day. I think I would just get self-conscious of having it all the time, and I don't think that it's like noticeably going to make my life better through breathing through my nose when I'm already always breathing through my mouth. Should I work more on nasal breathing? Absolutely. Do I need a nasal strip to do that? No, I don't. Finally, just to talk about the skin irritation. Obviously, I wore it for a few nights, all night. When you wake up, your nose, like around the sticky area, is going to be a bit red, but it does die down after you wash your face. During the training session, obviously it didn't stick on very much at all and it fell off pretty quickly. So I didn't have like any skin irritation at all. I imagine that if you do wear it all day, all the time, you might get more skin irritation than I did, because I had some even though I just wore it just at night, but it wasn't anything that like left a rash or anything. So I'd say it's pretty like skin sensitive proof. Like, it's not really, really bad. Anyways, is it worth it? Should you buy it? If you are someone who struggles with snoring and like your partner can't sleep, or you can't sleep in the same room as your partner, or snoring is a big thing, 100% try it. It worked for me. It's a good solution if you have tried other things and it doesn't work. Just try it. Usually snoring, there is like an underlying issue there somewhere that needs to be addressed. But if you want just like a quick short fix solution, I think that this would work. I would 100% try it. It's not super expensive. It's a pretty inexpensive solution. So just to try it and see whether it works for you. In terms of training, as I said, doesn't work. Wouldn't recommend. Don't think it's good. But yeah, those are my nasal strip reviews. I think that like It could be worth it if it is something that you are looking to try. However, I don't think that it is a long-term solution. I think long-term should probably look at like how to breathe properly, breathing through your nose, like training your body to be more of a nasal breather as opposed to a mouth breather whilst you're training, and then go from there. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.